Um, okay, so it's Friday. Aubrey's first on my screen. So Aubrey and Matt, and it's just you guys.
Right.
How's it been
So
going?
we kind of put in some changes from our demo that were suggested, and are working on testing too, getting additional scenarios ready because of the review screen and whatnot. So that's kind of where we're at, is just getting ready for testing, basically.
Okay, perfect. And then that thing that you showed us yesterday was really good as well. The fix that you guys came up with for the quartz selector. So good job on that. So the next step is really Aubrey's meeting with Quentin today to talk about review screens, is that right? And then moving on to testing.
Yeah, we're hoping to have all the review screens built so that we can also include those in our testing.
Perfect.
That's cool.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then next on my screen is it's Mia. There's no Benny. I know Benny's writing some test, I think. He's writing an exam coming up, so.
Yeah, he is. So we're just working on also doing the review screens, and those are pretty much done right now. I think we're ready for another demo, and then we probably like early next week or whenever works. And then also we're just finishing up our second round of testing.
Okay, perfect. So, I mean, we can maybe schedule. I saw that the second review actually took a little bit quicker. I mean, this will be your third review. We might be able to try and schedule something early next week for that. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what you guys have done. Okay, and then it's just James from James, Jason, and Eleni.
Yeah, just me today. So we had a coding issue yesterday that Jason, I think, put in the code channel, and I think he reported that it's fixed. So we did find the error, and Quentin was totally right. It was the skip undefined true part in our attachment block. That was the issue. So now I think we're just going to run some tests to make sure that it's fixed, and then I think we're also ready for a review next week.
And you guys, this will be your first review. We haven't seen your form yet. So why don't we prioritize that? We can get that done. Maybe I would just need to speak to the admin and see what kind of the timetable is looking like. But I'm really excited to see. I will obviously communicate to you and Jason and Eleni when to expect that.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and then Mike, how's it going with you on your two forms?
Good. The motion to vacate housing, Caroline's going through a readability, or no, so she's going with the readability on consumer default. The vacate housing was the one that we had the meeting with the other day, and I made all the edits to it that I think we need to cover. So I was going to push that new code to GitHub, and then that will also go through readability.
Okay, perfect. So is there anything you need from us? Oh, there's Caroline. Your camera's working again.
Yeah, you were right. There's one more button that turns it off that I didn't know about. Michelle goes, "You've turned your camera off." It's like, no, I haven't turned it off. Anyway, I found it. So when Mike pushes the motion to vacate default for housing, there's this GitHub issue. Are you going to push it to a new repository, Mike, or are you going to be able to push it to the existing repository?
Probably the existing one.
It's Tyler's
not here.
The existing. Okay. Because I think that's the thing, because we, on the consumer, it's just this, if we want to keep old code and we want to do, keep track of commits and things. So I think the default for consumer is a little bit different from housing, because it came from Matt and had to be refactored, and then there's some other strange stuff in there that I didn't know about. So that's the thing. So we want to, I'm hoping, push it to the one that's the Suffolk Lit Lab. And if you guys can't do that, I think Tyler's done that, and I pushed one there already for language. So we need to figure that one out. But that's probably outside stand-up, but across the board is continue using same repositories where we start, I think, if we can.
Okay.
If you need a hand with that, let me know.
Thank you, Michelle. Is there anything else on those two forms, or is there anything you need from us or Caroline, or maybe we can talk about demoing? I think the debt one is relatively quick to go through. It's very, very few screens and relatively simple. We could try maybe do that as well early next week.
Yeah, I'm down to demo that whenever.
Yeah, and there's one issue with that. We talked to Matt this morning on it, that people may not know their docket number. They can't file if they don't have their docket number, which is kind of the same issue we talked about the other day. And our image actually isn't a default judgment, but I just found one just a minute ago. So I'm emailing everybody about that. So there's this issue, that same thing we just talked about is, we were talking about that for the housing thing, is you need your docket number. You can go to Mass Courts and look it up.
You're right.
I don't know if you can look up consumer in Mass Courts. So that's an issue we are going to meet with Matt about next week on Thursday, depending. We just got that email. I'm not quite sure about timing. Unless we come up with some other solution, we don't need Matt.
Okay. So the question is basically, can you access your docket number through that portal that Vinny was talking about? For this specific one, consumer debt.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, is there a way that we will find out an answer to that before you meet with Matt? I mean, or are we just going to wait and leave it till next Thursday?
We can. I feel like I think Mike can demo it
okay,
anyway. Right. And then we'll just say, I work with somebody, Mariah. So she's also a consumer attorney. She's on vacation. She's coming back next week. So I can ask her if it's on Mass Courts. That's one thing. But I think we've asked Matt to have a look at it. So it makes sense to just,
Okay. I think Caroline's Wi-Fi might be playing up again today.
Include him in it.
Okay. Okay, so I think we get the gist of it. I think, okay. Last but not least, we've got Sam and Eric for you guys and Mark. Obviously, we're going to meet today at 2:30, I think. And then, is there anything else that's happened in the interim?
What was that last part?
Is there anything else that's happened in the interim?
No, nothing else has happened in the interim. Just waiting for that meeting.
Okay, perfect. Cool. Okay, well, I look forward to that. From my side, I see that Spencer Aiken is asking if he could get developer access. I think he's requested that on DocuSign, so I'm not too sure who's monitoring that. I think maybe David, Quentin, and Michelle.
Yeah, I saw a request, but I didn't know who it was.
Yeah, who was asking?
It's a new team member, Spencer Aiken.
If they can send something like Maeve said to do this or something, so that we have a message that tells us that they're not a random person or a bot, that helps us do that more effectively.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so I think he's going to be helping us with we need to identify a form for him. And then there's Alex Pegg, who's just finished his bar exam, so he's coming back for I think a few weeks to do pet protection with Michael Miele. Civil action cover sheet, we're also just kind of getting through those lists of things that we discussed with the SME between Lance and I. We had a coding meeting today to talk about the style guide. Did you guys manage to talk a little bit after Quentin and I jumped off?
A little. We talked about the decision log and identified what items we might want to think about next. And I think we should each set aside some time or decide how we want to do this, like independent brainstorming.
Okay,
right?
Perfect.
And when we want to come together again.
And then I realized I didn't ask Ty how your week's been. How's it going with you?
Yeah, pretty good. Like basically I'm working on another issue just to edit the current function and to make sure we can also load the court code like I've added last week. So things like that to make sure all the court documents also show the code, associated court code of it. Basically, I didn't do much because I'm not how to test it. Like, I'm not familiar with the test site. So Quentin and Michelle helped me a lot in editing the test file. And currently, I'm getting to edit the testings. And yeah, this issue has been done. Basically.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
So
I didn't do much. Yeah.
The next step is just testing it. And you said that you're confident with testing now after Quentin and Michelle, or is there another step that needs to be taken in order to get you familiarized with the testing?
Oh, I already finished the test part.
Oh.
I added a file, like basic the things Quentin and Michelle gave to me, and I kind of make some changes, and the test worked, and so everything down for this issue. So I will finalize this today and upload them to the repository.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
this issue has been done.
Who needs to now take? I mean, is that issue just wrapped up? Is there no one that needs to review that or anything like that? No.
We'll review it when the pull request is made. We'll like run the code as well, right?
Yeah.
I think
so when
actually
she
right
makes
now
a pull
they're all
request,
going in one pull request, which is fine. So just whenever, Sai, when you think you're finished, just ping us, I guess.
Yeah, I can comment on the issue on GitHub.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but ping us in Slack because there's a lot of notifications in the world right now.
Yeah, I know.
So then, Sai, are you looking for a next task, or should we wait until Monday? Because I mean, it's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Look at the dentist, Jordy. Okay, so why don't we think about kind of what's going to come up, and then we'll have something ready for Monday for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, great.
Okay, perfect. Okay, does anybody else have anything that they need to add? No, we're all good. Okay, where's my timing? Let's stop recording.